Hello everyone, today we're looking at another Leetcode problem. This is 2410, maximum matching of players with trainers. So now in this problem we are given two arrays, integer arrays, players and trainers. Now the ith index of players represents the player i's ability and the jth index of trainer represents the trainer's capacity. Okay, and we need to match players with the trainers with the condition that the player's ability has to be lesser than or equal to the trainer's capacity. Okay, and we can only allocate one, we can only have one match per player and trainer, which means usually like a trainer can be coaching multiple players. In this case, it's only one-to-one matching that happens. So given this condition, these conditions, we have to find the maximum number of matchings between players and trainers. So the first thing to understand is, let's say I have players of capacity 3, 4, 5, and if I have trainer, let's say of capacity 2, 2, 2, then I cannot match a trainer with this. I cannot match this trainer with any of these, right? Likewise, if let's say there is trainer which is 2, 3, 4, then this player cannot be matched with this trainer. And if this player cannot be matched with this trainer, if players and trainers are sorted, then nothing on the right can be matched with this trainer. So then what we can do is simplify this whole problem into a linear processing where I'm just passing through the player and I'm checking is my current pointer of the trainer matches my player's ability. So the capacity of the trainer has to be greater than or equal to 3. Now this was 2, which means it does not satisfy. And if it does not satisfy for the current player, then it is not going to satisfy for any player on the right hand side because they are sorted. We're going to be sorting them. So then I can safely process and move to the next trainer. And then I do a check. If it is a match, then I move both of them. Okay, and then I do a check again. Is this thing? And then I have to also keep a count of number of matches that I've gotten. So here I've gotten 2 matches. So that's all that is to the problem. There is this greedy approach of sorting and then checking them in this particular order. Once you get the greedy approach of processing, the execution is actually quite simple. So let's say our match players and trainers has players, which is list of integer, and has trainers, which is also list of integers, and I have to return the maximum number of matches, so that is also an integer. Okay, so once we have gotten that, the first thing that we do is we sort. So players dot sort trainers dot sort. Now let's have j equal to 0, which is a pointer for trainers. Okay, and then let's also have our match count equal to 0, which is a variable that will be storing the number of matches that I've seen. So for I in range of players, actually in this case I can just use the player value also, but I think it's fine in order to keep the consistency with the structure of 2 indices I and j. Let's have this as I. So in the range of len of players, okay, what we do is, first thing, if the current trainer that I'm looking at is lesser than the capacity, if the current trainer that I'm looking at is lesser than the capacity, and keep moving this j, keep moving this j, keep moving this j till you are at some point, which for this example was this 3, so I had to move only 1. So keep moving till you get to a trainer capacity which is greater than or equal to the player's ability. So first thing is to do that. Only after that I can do the match. So what we will say is while j is lesser than len of trainers and till the time the trainer is lesser. So trainer of j is lesser than player of I. Then what do? We'll just increment j by 1. Now once this is done, now I have found a trainer which can match my player. So let's do that. But there is also a condition that maybe I have gone out of bound here. So let's check that. So if j is lesser than len of trainers, that means I found the match. So we say match count plus equal to 1, and let's increment this by 1, else okay we can just break. What has happened here? What has happened here is that j has gotten exhausted. That means there are no more trainers for me to consider. So whatever match count I had so far, we can return. The other possibility is that I never get to else. Maybe the players get exhausted first, or the third possibility is that the player and the trainers get exhausted at the same time. But anyhow, this having this break here is important. So this is it for the code. Now, if you think about the time complexity, we spend time here, which was, let's say, if this was n, so this was n log n, and if this was m, this was n log m. Other than this, it's just the sequential processing. So this is going to be okay. This is going to be of the order of n because we stop when the players are exhausted. So the overall time complexity is going to be defined by this. So it's going to be n log n plus m log m. And in terms of space complexity, we have not used anything additionally, so it's just order of 1. That's it for this problem. I'll see you again with the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.